Hi, my name is Joe Githuku. I'm a Baltimore lawyer, and today I'm going to talk about Chapter 7 bankruptcy. So, first, what is bankruptcy? The basics, right? Bankruptcy is essentially a way to get rid of debt that you cannot pay, right? So, you get to a point where you're juggling between credit cards, medical bills, your regular bills, and you simply can't make any headway, right? And your credit's taking a hit with delayed payments. Maybe it's gotten to the point of judgments. Oftentimes, I get the call either after a writ or garnishment, right, of wages. So that's when a creditor has already obtained a judgment and is in the process of now trying to get paid. And so they contact your employer and say, hey, I have a judgment against XYZ, and I think he or she works for you, and if she does, I want 25% of the after tax income, so until the debt is paid, right? So usually that's usually a big warning sign, right? Red flags flaring, because for most folks, 25% of your after tax income is a substantial amount of money, especially when you're struggling to make ends meet. Then all of a sudden someone wants to take, say, if your after tax position is, say, $700, that's close to almost $200 out of your pay, right? If that's every 2 weeks, then we're talking about $400 a month. That's gone, right, to the creditor, right? So all of a sudden, people are like, hey, I got to do something, and I got to do it yesterday because they don't want that garnishment to hit. And oftentimes, people will explain to me, hey, listen, if they take this money, right, if they take this garnishment, I may not be able to pay my rent, my car note, you know what I mean, or some other thing, basically because now $400 or whatever the 25% is going out the window. I've seen 25%, especially let's say you're making somewhat of a decent income, you're saying the $50,000-$60,000 a year. It could be almost $1,000 out of your pay every month, right? That's just going to pay this debt. And oftentimes it's not the only debt that folks looking into bankruptcy have. This just happens to be the one that's currently garnishing them. Okay, so Chapter 7 comes in. So the power of the Chapter 7 and bankruptcy in general is something called the automatic stay, which means the minute that you file your case, the automatic stay kicks in and creditors have to stop all collection activity, right? So everything that they're trying to do to get paid from a creditor's perspective has to stop, right? So it could be as simple as no more phone calls, try to collect the debt. Or if you're facing that garnishment like we've been talking about, that means they got to stop taking the money out of your pay. That's pretty powerful, right? Like I said, if you are losing $400 or more and facing the possibility that that $400 going out the window, or however much is going out the window, means that you can't pay, say, a car note or make your rent, the power of bankruptcy is pretty strong because that money has to be put back. They can't take any more money out of your pay the minute you file. All right, and an added bonus is this: if a creditor has garnished you for more than $600 within the past 90 days, within 90 days of the filing of your case, you get all that money back as well. But that's getting into the nitty gritty, and we can always, on a case by cases, then analyze where your position is and figure out what it is that you're entitled to receive, right, in the process. But so what we need to do is, when you come in on you have a garnishment, immediately there's emergency filings available, so that we can stop it immediately, or certainly before the next payday, right? So that you don't lose that couple $100 to a creditor, assuming you're eligible for the 7, right? So pretty much, while not ideal, we can basically get it done within a day or two. Certainly, we've done emergency filings to stop, say, a foreclosure sale, right? So, for whatever reason, financial circumstances or whatever, folks sometimes wait until the day before, a couple of days before a foreclosure sale is scheduled, and then so you have to move quickly to at least get an emergency petition filed that stops the sale and gives them room to then organize their affairs and then put together a plan to move forward. And that's the power of bankruptcy. So certainly, if you're in that position, right, you have a garnishment, you have a foreclosure pending, and you want to you're trying to look at your options in bankruptcy, feel free to call 410-849-9529. I am happy to answer your questions and get a general sense of where you are and what the options are. Now, for a more detailed consultation, it's pretty simple. I have a list of documents and I have a questionnaire that I provide ahead of time. You provide as many documents as possible on that list, fill out the questionnaire that we'll go through together when we meet. So that way I get a sense of what's going on with you and I review the documents to back it up, and then I can give you the advice accordingly. It works for my clients because once they start gathering this information, it gives them a better sense of what it is that they're dealing with to begin with. Because sometimes, let's say a creditor hasn't contacted you in a couple of years. You may forget that they exist, but they never forgot you exist, right? Or let's say it's an old, typically say a credit card, right? It was charged off on your credit report. You can see the charge off, but doesn't mean the debt is not owed. In fact, oftentimes these companies are selling it to somebody you've never heard of. So all of a sudden you get a call or a letter from somebody and you're like, who are you and why do you think I owe you money, right? And then they'll say, hey, we bought such and such credit card debt from so and so. You owe us now the full amount. Okay, so that's why getting together your documents. So for example, the basics, right? Credit reports, get all three, right? You can get them all three for free once a year from the annualcreditreport.com, right? Annualcreditreport.com. Go check it. Get your credit reports once a year. Check what's in there, right? So you need your 6 months of your income, right? So go back 6 months, get all your pay stubs. It's pretty simple nowadays. Everything is online, electronic somewhere. So PDF, print that out, or even forward it to me via email. Easy. So you don't have to worry about picking up paper, printing in the office. I know you're not supposed to because it's your personal stuff. So, just email it, right? And it's easy as that, right? So your income tax returns for the last 3 years. Get that. Typically, again, a lot of it's done electronically now, so everything is in PDF format already, so you can shoot me an email with it, or print it out, whatever works for you if you already have the hard copies ready to go. So, that's just kind of basics that gets us going, and then we may need more things. So, of course, for everything you own, such as a vehicle or house, you need the legal document that says you are the owner. So, for a house, it's a deed, right? For a car, it's a title, right? Something like that, So, and then your bank account statements as well. So get all that information together. At first, it can feel overwhelming if you haven't done it. But, I tell everyone who calls me, the average person, unless you're super organized, which is actually a decent amount of people that I see, that they already have everything in nice little folders and they're ready to go. But, give it a week. Get your stuff together over the course of that week, and then you'll be fine. And you can come in and we can start the process. Again, my name is Joe. If you have any questions, go ahead and call me 410-849-9529, or feel free to shoot me an email. The details are right below this video. Thank you.